All right.
Oh, call that an anchor.
Hey, you call that an anchor, don't you?
That was very west. That seems to be a bit more West Country.
They're all being pirates.
Yep, they're just all.
It's the same voice, only one's a bit more like.
One is very much more gravelly.
It's like, I'm a pirate, and I'm a pirate.
And,
it's the same thing. It's just
I'm a farmer.
I'm a farmer.
Off my land. Get off my land. I can't do the.
Get off my land. Get off my land. Get off.
I can't land.
Land. Get off my land.
Get off my land.
My land. Get away. Peasant. Peasant indeed.
I hate 343, Adam.
You hate for Halo, sure. I was like, okay.
They're the worst.
They're not the worst. Oh, fuck.
Hello.
Right.
I've had an absolute mare.
Because you've got no pants and you've got...
Bro, you joke, right? But half of North London's just seen my bum, so, you know.
They loved it. They were like, yeah.
Big fans.
What have you done, Charlie?
What haven't I done? It's kind of the problem. I've been running about. I went and bought some chocolate cornflakes. I can't eat those. That's a poor man's. That's just bad.
Chocolate cornflakes?
You know, like, yeah, hang on. I'm putting on clean socks. You know, like those chocolate cornflake cluster things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You get him in like
no.
I think I know what he means, but they're not like on the Kellogg's brand, are they?
No. They're like, well, these ones are Sainsbury's own. But listen,
fucking
you know.
living the lavish life. Is that what you have to resort to in London?
Bro, lavish life. Okay, let me talk to you about dinner. Okay, we've opened this wormhole. I'm climbing straight into it. Tonight I had a frozen Chicago Town cheesy and bacon pizza, which had like a tiger bread.
He's
crust,
fucking rich,
right?
He's fucking rich.
I'll tell you this, right? Bad life choices were made. It was trash, bro. It was trash. Never buy it.
Really?
Oh my god, I was excited.
Why?
I got all giddy. I thought, I'm living that lavish life tonight. No.
They're usually all right.
It was bad. I felt
they're usually pretty good, like the frozen.
Oh, I love the
little microwave one.
I love the little Chicago Town, the little mini ones. They're well good.
Yeah, this was one of the fatter ones.
Yeah. Oh, it was a big one.
Big one. It was also a big mistake. Let me tell you.
it was like, yeah, it was a big one, and it was a big mistake.
I was assuming it was one of those little microwave ones.
Because they're sick. I love those.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I've had
burn your mouth.
I can't remember what they're called. There's these ones I can get in Morrison's near me, which are like little, microwavable ones that are like deep pan, but they're decent.
Yeah,
I don't think they're Chicago Town, but they're decent. This was trash. I loved the crust. I'm a big Tiger Bread fan. Enjoyed that. Rest of it, trash. Throw it out. Don't need it.
Oh, wait, the crust was Tiger Bread?
Yeah. Oh, trust the crust was... I ate the crust.
How does that work?
I didn't even finish, like, the middle bit. I just ate the crust. I don't know how it works, but, like, it was quite thick, and it had, like... it didn't feel like Tiger Bread. I'm looking at it now, the remains of it. It didn't feel like Tiger Bread.
The remains.
But it tasted like Tiger Bread.
All right. I was like, it's Tiger Bread. Not that it tastes like Tiger Bread, just it is Tiger Bread.
And
my pizza was Tiger Bread.
And on the front it said Tiger Bread, and that's what also allured me apart from the bacon.
Oh, really?
I'm a big Tiger Bread boy. But Listen, next time I'll just buy a loaf of tiger bread because that would be
and
good
some
decision.
bacon and cheese and tomato, and you're fine.
Done. Would have been a grand old time. Yeah, here I am.
How much was the pizza? How much was the pizza?
It was on sale. I reckon it was about. I wish I had my receipt on me. It's downstairs, and I'm not moving from the chair now. I've sat down. I'm saying it was in the £1.50 to £2 range.
I reckon you could make your own for cheaper.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you bought a loaf of like tiger bread that was going off, some like bacon, mozzarella's like 40p, and some tomato sauce.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could also just
What
like you say that's going off. I reckon you could probably get tiger bread that's brand new for the same brand new.
Like in the yellow section.
Yeah. I feel like you could definitely get like. What I'm saying is I've just made a series of bad choices today, and I'm telling you as a cautionary tale so you don't repeat them. I looked at Storm Dennis and I thought I could take that. I lost.
Fuck Storm Dennis.
Quick question: how do I look at the orphan call again? Because I'm out. I've gone out of the app, and now I want to look at the.
Oh, I don't know what you mean.
Well, you know how you can see me and Charlie speaking in the call on your phone.
Yeah.
How do I get to that bit again? I'm
I'm
obviously in the call, but I've gone out of the app, and now I don't know how it's going. And remember what happened last time? We tried doing stuff outside of this call.
I do.
I don't want that to happen.
I don't know how you get back in. You're still in. Click the thing again on Facebook.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
This can only go well.
Dude, it can't. Oh.
I mean, last time I left the app, when me and Adam tested it ages ago, it just broke. So the fact I'm still talking to you is a positive sign.
But then didn't we, like, watch YouTube for hours as well afterwards?
Yeah, we did.
So I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
Funness. Oh well.
Oh,
are you back
we've got
in
2 Louis now in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, I'm in twice.
Oh my god, you're echoing.
This is not good. Leave, Louis.
Oh, now they've both gone. Oh no.
No.
Are they?
I'm still in. No, dude, I'm still in.
Okay, we can hear you. I can't see your name, but we can hear you at least.
I can see his name.
I can't.
It still says 3 people are recording.
Hang on, I can send it to you. Actually, I won't send it to you because it might break something. But
that was great. Why did
Are you in? Are you in though, Lou? Like, are you on that page?
No, I'm not. I had to leave out of that page. I got into that page and I was in the call twice.
Oh yeah. No, that wasn't good. Okay, that doesn't also look. I don't know, man. It's so weird.
Right, I'm gonna try.
Everything's happy. Everything's fine, man.
Right, I'm gonna try something.
What are you trying? Oh, no.
the most concerning of phrases when Louis goes, "I'm gonna try something." Like, no, don't.
Yeah, he was still in on mine.
Is he gone now?
Yeah, he's gone. He's coming back, I guess.
Fair enough.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Anyway, this is a perfect introduction segment to our podcast.
Let's not do that again.
You what? No, let's not do that again. This is 10 minutes of our podcast that we've ever had.
And it's in 3 separate recordings.
No, it's all in one recording for me. It's all good. It's all good. It just records everything. So we're all good. It's all in one recording.
So we started.
Well, what are you fucking eating?
Chocolate cornflake clusters. I'm hungry.
Shit! Yeah,
I didn't finish the pizza. Sorry.
That's fair. No, that's fair. No, fair enough.
Dude. What even is your life?
I've had a mess day. Sorry, everyone.
You need the chocolate cornflakes so much.
I'm just sad.
Chocolate cornflakes, Sainsbury's own brand.
£1, baby. Let's go.
God, I bet they go stale after like a day.
Almost certainly. I don't know.
So that bad?
Well, again, we might find out, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll find out. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to actually finish this recording here and then start a new recording because that means I can put music in the interim. Oh.
All right, hang on.
So I tried to join the call and just give the little post in Messenger a little sad face reaction.
All that.
Just give it a little sad face reaction.
Oh, we're here. That's all that matters. We're alive.
It's shocking that we've managed it, but we're here.
God, even Charlie's here.
I know.
Even
and that's
hold up. Charlie's been here the last few times.
Listen, I'm not taking this like nonsense. Yeah, I'm forever here. I'm like Jesus, bro. I'm forever present in your life specifically.
Just Louis, yeah, he's always there.
Oh, I wish you were in my life all the time, specifically. Oh.
Mate, check your last Facebook profile picture. I'm behind you in it. Don't check it now because I don't want the app to break. But at the same time,
don't do it now. Yeah.
At some point, check, and you'll see. I'm like Slenderman or Jesus.
Dude. Right. So in my profile picture, where am I?
I don't know. I don't want to check just in case the problem happens. Hang on. I mean, I can.
Is it the one that you've got on? Yeah, you've got it on now. You can check in the Messenger app, which I still have open.
I can't open the picture up fully. I need to get to your profile. How do I get to your profile? Oh, there we go.
Oh, no. Charlie's going to break the call.
No, that's good. I'm on my computer. It's fine.
That's fine, then.
I'm going to say that's Amsterdam.
Oh, I put a thing on, didn't I? Oh, I've written that I put a thing on.
What do you mean you've written that you put a thing on? What's that kind of sentence?
That was a sentence. No, I think I've obviously put a caption in the photo.
Oh, you actually didn't. Have I got it right?
No.
Big dubs for the boy.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's the only place I've been outside of England in the past, 12, 13 years or something.
That was a picture of me probably about half an hour before I got really stoned and started walking around the streets of Amsterdam looking at prostitutes.
Jesus Christ! I mean,
that was the afternoon.
That was
a weird afternoon.
When I went there, I was walking through one of the side streets. We were looking for what are they called? Coffee shops, right? And there was a bunch, and it's just like it's the thing all English people do when they go there, and I don't understand why, because you could just smoke in the comfort of your own home, but apparently you go somewhere to do it. Anyway, the point is we were looking for this coffee shop, and there were two opposite each other. This was relatively near Amsterdam Central train station, and there was a group of like about 10, I'm going to say 17-year-olds from England having a conversation about who needs to walk in first to try and get away with going in, because they were clearly they were like 17. They were like college kids. And I've never felt so at home while so far away from home. They were like, no, you go in first, bro. No, you go in first. Like they were having this like big argument about it. And I was like, you've come all this way and yet none of you have the courage to walk through a shop door. Come on now. It's not that deep, but there you go. That's what Amsterdam's like, isn't it?
No, well,
a shop door that you can't enter.
Yeah.
No, it was a very surreal experience. Like, I'll never witness anything like it again.
What, Amsterdam?
What, prostitutes?
Well, prostitutes in the context that they were sort of displayed themselves in.
Did you just say splayed or displayed?
Displayed.
That they splayed themselves with.
I mean, they did display themselves in front of that window.
That's what I'm thinking.
They did do that.
I'm enjoying just dropping a whole syllable there. I might start doing, bro. They were splaying themselves.
Yeah, but it doesn't work if you say it. It sounds gangster.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Some of them were very attractive. Some of them were not.
Did you inquire about the costs of these ladies?
No. I don't.
That sounds like a yes.
I literally could not tell you. Well, I don't know. What is the price for a shag? Like €60?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
I can tell you. I never asked. I'll be honest.
All I can remember was the dwarf prostitute stood next to the very large black lady.
Oh God. This works. This is good podcasts.
Do you want to introduce ourselves?
No, I think you've introduced yourself enough, bro. I think everyone knows what you're about after that.
Yeah, no.
For those who are listening, hello and welcome to Sometimes Videogames, where sometimes we talk about video games. Not often.
No, very not.
I'm your host, Adam, and today I've got with me, as is going to be usual, hopefully, Charlie Walsh.
Hello, I will be bringing all of your European culture.
I bring nothing but disappointment and shame.
Not enough.
This is
how
it works. I love how Charlie's the one who brings the European culture, the dirty London Remain voter.
Yeah, bro, big pro Remain parts around here, fam. Ignoring the fact that I go to West Ham regularly, which is not the most Remain place in the world, but we'll ignore that.
Are you a West Ham
All the West Ham
football fan?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. It's like it's a bit like it's like being I don't know. I was gonna insult you there, but I felt like it was a bit harsh. I'm not gonna do it. Not 6.5 minutes in.
That's much, isn't it?
No, I don't want to.
What were you going to say? I'm interested.
No, I was just getting. Well, you called yourself disappointing, so I was going to be like, it's a bit like being friends with you. You're just constantly disappointed, but that's harsh, isn't it? That's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be wrong. It's how all our friendships will eventually end.
Oh, listen, our friendship's never going to end, Louis. I'm going to know you until the day you die, or the day I die,
and then you'll be disappointed.
I mean, we've literally never met. We almost did.
I was late getting to Expo, so it didn't work out for me. But
no, everyone else wanted to leave as well. We all scrubbed out.
Next time you come down, I'm gonna roll up on you so fast you won't know what hit you.
There is a GP London late this year.
Hello. I'm coming.
I'm doing.
When is that?
I don't know. I think it's actually in December. There's Liverpool.
Oh.
There's GP Liverpool in July.
And
obviously, I'm doing Prague in May.
Oh, obviously,
yeah.
So does that wait? So
I might have to do something in December.
Do they do different? Is it other card games or is it purely Magic?
It's just Magic the Gathering.
I'm sure they do other card games in those places, though.
They do not.
Well, how would they feel if I were challenging people
to events.
Duel? Would that be perceived positively or negatively?
Honestly, it'd probably be received positively.
I don't know. He would probably ask to leave. I mean, the events are the events are organised by Wizards of the Coast. They probably won't.
Fuck Wizards of the Coast. The people who are playing the game would probably be like, "That's a pretty funny Yu-Gi-Oh reference there," and then ignore the rest. And
then I stood there earnestly waiting for someone to duel me, and they're just a bit weirded out by it and leave. Yeah, okay, that could be shit.
Although there could be some of those weird people.
Charlie, you should.
As soon as you say that, they'll just be like, "Ugh, Yu-Gi-Oh virgin."
You should play this game that I've invested my life into, Charlie. You should join the collective.
What, Magic?
Yeah.
It sounds really bad when you put it that way. Play the game I've been invested my life.
It's not a great
into.
pitch.
You don't have to invest your life into it to have fun.
You don't.
I mean, the closest I've
That
come
is a fair point.
I've played quite a bit of Duel Masters. Is that what it's called recently? The one that's close. It's like halfway between Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, and it's like not good in any way, shape, or form, and it's completely broken. But it's quite fun because of that. Played quite a lot of that recently. Is it Duel Masters? Is that what it's called?
I think it's Duel Masters. I remember it be a thing called Duel Masters, but I don't know how it plays.
Yeah. They stopped making it because it was so bad. But like it's good, and the fact it's broken makes it more fun.
There was an anime. I remember there was an anime of it.
Yeah, there definitely was, and the guy looks super like someone who's designed to try and be a cool anime character.
Yeah,
I got like really,
I got
really spiky hair, like really, really spiky hair.
Yeah, like his head is mostly spike.
It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Spiky though. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Iconic where he's got that like red and blonde sort of monstrosity.
Do you think that defined like anime protagonist spiky hair, or not? Because I feel like ever since Yu-Gi-Oh, it just got more ridiculous and more and more.
Got worse and worse.
Got worse and worse.
I wish I knew. Like, I don't know the history of anime well enough to be able to pinpoint when the spiky hair trend began.
It's definitely like Dragon Ball and Yu-Gi-Oh that kind of made it. So Dragon Ball clearly is before Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Dragon Ball clearly like started it, and then after that, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh made it popular to a whole different generation.
Well, they just introduced.
Maybe it's both because he ran at the same time.
Well, Yugi's hair is black and blonde, black and yellow and pink and purple.
Yeah, what I like about Yugi's hair compared to like other anime protagonists with big spiky hair, or like Final Fantasy characters with big spiky hair, that sort of thing, is that he has the layers going on. So like the different colors gives it like a complexity I enjoy. Whereas when I'm looking at say really just like a generic anime like character and it's like a single color, not into it.
See, I've seen a lot of like a bunch of older anime. A lot of them seem to have like Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh. A lot of them tend to like have his kind of hair instead of the spiky stuff. Like when it's older, they all have that kind of like sort of mullety, like emo mullet, I guess.
Well, I don't know. It's like the early Justin Bieber, isn't it?
I guess. Yeah, it's like an emo mullet, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like the Japanese attractive man sort of hairstyle stereotype.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know what early anime is, right? But wasn't like Astro Boy quite early?
Yeah, Astro Boy's like super.
Astro Boy have I might be remembering it wrong, but doesn't Astro Boy have spiky hair?
He just has like the two spikes, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't remember him very well. Is his design?
It's just like
other than he's kind of Mega Man-y in a way.
A bit Mega Man-y. He feels very Mega. Well, I mean, what was first?
He's less blue, but it's about.
Was Mega Man a rip off of Astro Boy? Nintendo.
I think so.
Nintendo. Yeah. Can you confirm this?
At Reggie Fils-Aimé, what is Astro Boy versus Mega Man?
Oi, Big Reggie. I'm going to tweet this in later.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet him.
I'm going to like it.
He's got a Twitter profile now. He's not a part of Nintendo anymore. So
so he can give us the dirt. So he can tell us.
He can give us the dirt. Yeah.
He's no longer being paid by Miyamoto, so he can tell us how much he.
Why do you leave? It was such a good job.
I don't know. I can't remember what he said. I think he just was like, I need to do other things.
Oh, it was still weird. You know how Satoru Iwata died and everyone was sad for a minute?
Yeah. Bit more than a minute,
I was going to say.
Yeah. Do you know what I found really weird about that? It's like he literally just died like a few weeks after he filmed his stuff for E3.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
He's suggesting Reggie killed him.
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Shit,
but Reggie definitely did kill him. No. Reggie, ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Fils-Aimé did not kill Satoru Iwata. because I don't.
Just in case.
Yeah, we don't want to get sued, please.
We don't want to get fucking destroyed for slander and defamation.
No, we do not.
On episode 1.
No, he absolutely did not do that.
You did not. Good. Thank you for covering that, because I don't want to have to get out my massive fucking law for journalists book quite yet.
Which you, of course, as a trainee journalist, would have. Whereas me and Louis have zero idea of libel lawsuits, and we'll just say stuff willy-nilly and see what happens for the bands.
It's really, like, literally, like, before this, I would have been all up for saying that Reggie Fils-Aimé killed Bill Foster, and now I'm sat there like, oh fuck, we can't say that. We'll get sued for defamation and slander, and we can.
I wonder, like, I was watching a video recently, like a couple of days ago. There's that channel called People Make Games, which is run by Chris Pratt, formerly of Eurogamer and formerly of Video Gamer. And he was doing, there's a video he made about Ubisoft's how they plan their E3, and I was thinking about it, and they were talking about how difficult it would be, like, when something gets leaked, like Assassin's Creed inevitably does every single year before E3. They were talking, he was like, would that change the order of the press conference? And they were like, well, by the point in time it gets leaked, not really. It's really difficult to change things. I wonder how bad an event would have to be in order to change, like, an E3 press thing. So, like, with like Iwata dying is pretty bad, but, like, what's underneath that? What's the in-between section? I want to know, like, what's the worst thing that could happen in which they'd still probably go, nah, let's just go with it.
Well, I don't think Iwata dying actually changed their E3 presentation.
Was he in the direct at all?
Yeah, he did the direct, and that was the last direct that he did.
Did he? I can't even remember, you know. I remember him dying, but I don't remember, like, the context around it. I just remember it happening.
No, I remember that he had, like, cancer of something.
Oh, he died of cancer? Well, whose fault was that, then?
Yeah.
Louis, please.
That's the worst part. We can't blame anyone.
Getting bloody cancer. What was he thinking?
But so he was in that direct.
I'm pretty sure that was the one with the Muppets, right?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was weird.
Or was it the one with the Muppets?
No, I reckon the one.
No, it was the one with the Muppets. It was definitely the one with the Muppets because he definitely died very shortly after that one.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't in that one. He wasn't in that direct. It was the Muppets that were in it instead. And they said basically that he wasn't well enough to go to E3, even though he wanted to go down there and do stuff. And then they cancelled his flight, and then they went in and obviously they did the Muppet stuff. So, but I don't think the Muppets. I think the Muppet stuff was planned. It can't have been like they can't have made a Satoru Iwata Muppet and not used it.
What came first, the Muppet stuff or the
I think they could.
Stuff? Because wasn't there a Robot Chicken one as well? There was like a Muppet one, and then there was...
Oh yeah, that was a while before. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember the order of all these things.
I don't remember the order of what they were. I know that the Robot Chicken one was quite a while ago, where they started like. I remember the skit with Reggie on stage, and then like throwing tomatoes at him for no Mario or Star Fox or whatever. That was weird. I remember the Muppets one like it was yesterday though. That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
I only really remember the them walking down to the Star Fox music or whatever, and then also there's that one skit where the star comes out and they're all just like dancing to the star, and then Satoru Iwata's puppets like watching Reggie and Shigeru Miyamoto's Muppets dancing to the star song, and then he just joins in dancing anyway. He's like, "This is weird. Oh well, let's dance." That's fun.
Dancing to the Star Fox music. You know, it was a really big shame that game was fucking shit.
Oh, what the
Star Fox Zero, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't play that, but I mean,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad because they added an easy mode or whatever, which, you know, so its intended audience could play it. But
no, it was just bad.
No, it was just bad.
Yeah, I think it was just bad. Yeah,
it was just bad.
Just terrible in general, which is not great, but sure.
Also rare for Nintendo to just put out something that's trash, but there we go.
Yeah,
they do have some on occasion. They do have like this is trash, but I don't know how much they made. I think it was in that game particularly the forcing of motion controls into it.
Also known as the Skyward Sword effect.
Yes, Skyward Sword is another one. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy. I didn't play much of Skyward Sword though, to be fair. So I couldn't say much about it.
I think it's weird because I was having this conversation with someone the other day about Nintendo, like Nintendo's reliance on specific IPs and just consistently using those IPs, and they were making the argument that it's bad. And I do we've had many conversations about this before, about the idea of them just making something new, and I want to see new IPs from them because when they do come out, they're almost always bangers. Like Splatoon and ARMS.
Splatoon.
Like, and I
Splatoon's insane.
Defend ARMS to the hill, but like the thing is with Mario, like when you get a new Mario game, there's like lots of fresh and new ideas in it. Even though it is a Mario game, unless you're talking 2D Mario, and even then there's sometimes new stuff in it, it tends to be new. But with Star Fox, I just don't see where you can change that formula in a sense. So it's just always going to be
a lot.
Star Fox, if you know what I mean. Unless you suddenly put it on Dinosaur Planet.
I thought about the other day. I was watching a video by, I don't know if you know, a YouTuber called Arlo, who is a blue puppet boy, Muppet boy, and he's really cool. He was talking about 3D platformers and how Nintendo needs to make more 3D platformers because he misses 3D platformers because no one seems to do them anymore, which is fair enough. But then he was like talking about Donkey Kong and Kirby and Yoshi, and I was like, but I don't feel like those games really
3D platformers
very well.
I don't know. I kind of think 3D platformers were very horrible because the thing with 3D platformers, like obviously I remember a lot of them very fondly from my childhood, but as far as gameplay mechanics go, even to this day, I just look at old stuff like Banjo-Kazooie and Spyro and stuff like that, and it's just and the lack of depth and the lack of perception, because obviously it's all like just polygons made into like these 3D looking shapes.
I did sort of say on the video as a comment, like, I thought the 3D platformers we all kind of came around and were aware to the idea that most of them weren't very good. Like, some of them are pretty cool, but most of them probably weren't very good.
Yeah, it's the weird thing where it was sort of not the forced evolution, but it was just the way everything
was. I think it was the forced evolution.
Well, it was the way the industry was
like
going.
They were like, okay, we've got this 3D hardware now. We need to do it, and that's why like 3D Sonic games are fucking terrible.
The problem is games like that like always tread this very thin line of being, because obviously the games like that have to be challenging for them to be compelling and enjoyable. But I feel like the line is very thin between challenging and frustrating.
Yeah, and it's like the key difference when I think about that is like the difference between Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Bandicoot 3, for example, where 1 you can just see they don't really know what they're doing yet, and it's like I think Super Mario 64 almost definitely came out first, but it's that sort of era where there's not really much idea of like how to really convey the perspective and how to convey like space, like you say, like some of those levels in Crash Bandicoot 1 where you're running and you can see the pit, but you have no idea how far away from the pit you are. It's like really frustrating on a very basic
Crash
level.
Particularly is like that though, but that's because Crash is kind of not 3D in a way.
Yeah,
like, Crash is weird. Crash is like the sort of 2D 3D, whereas Spyro you can like explore a full 3D environment. Crash doesn't really do that. But then
Crash 3, I don't want to say fixes all of those issues, but it's certainly way less of a problem. Like there are very few times when you're playing Crash 3, I feel, when I've played through it now, where I go, oh, that's dodgy. I can't really tell what's going on here. You can see the lessons are learned, but there's still some basic.
I think they just learned level design more than anything in the way that Crash does it. Because Crash is really, I wouldn't even count Crash as a 3D platformer, just because of like the way there are very few levels in Crash where you move along plane like in Spyro.
Yeah, you do move. The thing is Crash is that you do move. You just move in like a straight line and take odd turns whenever the map allows you. Like
they called it like Sonic's butt or something.
Yeah, Sonic's arse, yeah.
Yeah, like the map is just a giant corridor. And I was going to say, what frustrates me the most about like gaps that you have to jump over, like holes in the floor in Crash, whatever, is that you really don't know how big they are. You just cannot tell.
Especially when you're facing the camera. Like there are loads of levels in like the first like few Crash games where you're running away from, say, like the boulder level,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, I'm running towards me, and I have to jump over this gap in the platform. I can't see anything to do with the gap because the camera is in the wrong place for me to see anything.
And there's the levels towards. I mean, like Crash is difficult. Crash 1 specifically, its difficulty spike is the kind of legendary because it is just so ridiculous. But there's like the levels towards the end of the game where you're doing like Road to Ruin and stuff, I think it's called, where you're literally walking across a bridge into nothing. Road to Nowhere, maybe. Is what
that bridge is,
and it's just.
That bridge is awful.
Next to impossible. Like, it's not obviously impossible. It's just very, very stupid and very difficult because you can't judge the gaps. You've got ice things pushing you to jump. It's just stupid. Like, and the only reason, like, to this day, when I've ever gone back and played those levels, you find your way to cheese it. Like, in that level, you have the ropes that you can run along at the side.
Walk along the rope,
it's just, yeah. But, I mean, I don't think all 3D platforms are bad. I think there's quite a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of them which are just trash.
I think because at the time, the PlayStation and the N64 specifically, there were a lot of 3D platformers there that were just kind of there to try and fill the void. And then there were the good ones like Spyro, like Crash, like Mario 64. And then as it grew over, so in the GameCube and like PS2 era, we had some good 3D platformers, but most of them were kind of whatever. So again, Mario Sunshine, I guess, Ratchet and Clank, that sort of thing. And then we got to the PS3 where 3D platformers became very focused on that kind of Uncharted type of platforming. And then the cartoony mascot 3D platformer kind of died there, I think. And now we only have games like Yooka-Laylee.
Yes.
God, that game
Super Lucky
so
Tale,
fucking
which
bad.
are not good games.
Oh, what else?
They're not.
It wasn't like there was like an evolution point in between where there was still like platforming, but then it became first person.
Mirror's Edge.
Are we talking about Mirror's Edge?
I am talking about Mirror's Edge. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this game. Like, I really, really like this game.
I love Mirror's Edge.
But the gameplay is kind of dumb. Like, first person platforming is horrible. It's just horrible.
It's a bad idea, but like I think it's done very well.
I think Mirror's Edge is maybe the one example where it actually works.
It's like the one. Although I couldn't name another game that tries to do first-person platforming like Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge 2
There are games that are first-person shooters. Well, yeah. There are games that are first-person shooters that have platforming elements in them and that don't work. But there's no game platformer other than Mirror's Edge.
Or you have like ledge grabbing in games like, let's say, Destiny, which is like they work 50% of the time. The game just sometimes just arbitrarily decides whether it wants to do a ledge grab or not.
When did first-person shooters decide they wanted to put platforming in their games as a separate thing? When did that happen? Why did that happen?
Is there a ledge grab in Borderlands? I'm trying to think of like when that sort of genre sort of thing happened. I don't know. I mean, the thing is with Mirror's Edge, I feel like a lot of games just took from that just because it does work. It's like the one example.
BioShock Infinite had some weird stuff like that, but I wouldn't really call it platforming.
Yeah, that was more just like swashbuckling, sort of flying.
Yeah, it was just flying between. It
was weird, that game. That game was cool, but it was weird.
One problem I had with BioShock Infinite is that I could never really get used to its combat. Well, I could obviously, I know how to shoot a gun and use a plasmid or whatever, but all the weird shit you wanted you to do with a grapple gun and stuff, it just seemed a lot of extra random busy work. And then all of the set pieces that, God, I've forgotten, Elizabeth, that's her name, that Elizabeth could interact with, and that all and for me, a lot of that just seemed like a lot of faff.
I feel like the worst thing about BioShock Infinite is definitely the gameplay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest thing.
It doesn't stick its landing at all. Like, even up until... I think the gameplay, for me, doesn't really become too much... Like, it's not great, and it doesn't deliver on what it could have been in the first, say, 3/4 of it. It never quite delivers on what it could have been, but it's still an enjoyable sort of romp with, like, the story and everything else pushing it through, despite the gameplay being quite...
Because I feel like the story and the characters and stuff and the idea.
It tells a fantastic story.
But the end, man, and I'm not talking about the ending of the story because I don't mind the ending of the story. I know it's very polarizing, but I don't mind it. But just that the last quarter of that game, I just don't think is very good. Like, it really forces you into
when you're
like
sort of flying around.
it just forces you into like the combat, and then you're just like it goes on for like way too long.
Yeah, it is. It does get to. I do remember that actually. I do remember it being a bit of a chore.
The big handyman thing. Like every enemy is just a big handyman dude.
Yeah, and it helps because straight after it you have the insane end to that game, which even if you don't like the end of the story, it's still like if you don't know what it is, it sort of smacks you around the face and you go, hang on a second, what?
I don't think like we must say that the end of the story is like diverse. Diversive. I think everyone came off the end of BioShock Infinite going, "Oh my god!" Instead of, I think only afterwards people really started to think about it and think, "Oh, I don't know if I like this."
I remember.
At the time, everyone was like, "This is insane."
I remember we had a conversation at the time. I was like super on board with it, and you were like slightly less so. But I was like for it. But I would never. I don't think I would replay it. I replayed the first one, the original BioShock, recently, and I really enjoyed
replay BioShock Infinite.
But I don't think I'd replay BioShock Infinite.
Do you know what? Out of the three of them, I've replayed the most, and it's my favourite one.
I do know.
Yeah. I mean, I know because the context you're going to say two, but
yeah, definitely. I actually really like BioShock 2 as much as other people don't.
I just never played it.
That's fine.
Why do you think it's so bad?
I heard it was not as good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. I just don't think it's as good as 1 or Infinite. Yeah, I think it's fine to like these things. I like fucking weird games as is, so it's fine. But like, I just don't think it's as good as 1 or Infinite. Even though, like I said, probably wouldn't play Infinite again. 1's incredible though. 1's insane.
They should make Rapture. It's called Columbia, isn't it? The Sky one. They should make BioShock 4.
Yeah.
Columbia 2. that won't be confusing.
Oh, I mean, what the hell do they do?
Are they making one?
Yeah, they are confirmed to be making a BioShock 4.
Why?
But we don't know what it is. Why?
Yeah, why?
I mean, it's not Ken Levine either. It's the new studio that 2K formed, like who are confirmed to be making it. It's confirmed to be a thing that's happening, and they've said, it's happening, but it won't be out for years. Game. Now, Ken Levine left, and he made an indie studio, and he hasn't. I don't think they've released anything.
You do realize that Ken Levine only made 2 of the BioShock games, right?
I mean, yeah, that's true. He didn't make the second one, but
did not make.
I don't know. I just don't know what they'd even do for a 4th one, to be honest. I mean, like.
No, I have no idea.
The thing is the weird thing about Infinite's story is it opens up infinite possibilities, but at the same time, it's almost like I don't want any of them. It's weird. I don't want to go back to Rapture. I don't want to go back to. The thing is, I like Columbia, and it's not like I don't like it, so I don't want to go back to it. It's just I almost think I know what Columbia is now.
Oh, did you play BioShock Infinite's DLC?
No.
Burial at Sea, or what it was called. Oh, dude.
Yeah,
it was really good. It basically just tied up all the loose ends.
Mm. I remember the.
So at this point, basically, it's just BioShock in name, isn't it? They're basically just BioShock in name because then they can make money out of it. Right. Doesn't have Ken Levine on it. It's probably not going to be in Rapture or Columbia. It might be in Rapture because Rapture's the iconic place, but it's not going to have any link to any of the previous
Rapture, Big Daddies.
Yeah. It's just going to be BioShock.
Little demon children that suck out the blood of crackheads.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Louis, I don't think you're playing the same game as everyone else, my friend.
What?
He's playing the BioShock porn game.
He saw an advert on Pornhub.
That's literally what they do. They suck out the blood of crackheads.
No, they suck out Adam. Come on, let's get the law right.
Hey up, chill out.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Don't be including me in this weird stuff.
I don't know what they do with it. It's weird. Like,
no, I've no idea.
Listen, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt when I see it, and I'll see what it's all about, obviously. And like, whoever's working on that must be like, you can't. I don't know. It's just weird.
I feel like somebody should have stepped in and been like, "We can't use little girls for this. We can't do it. We can't do that." We can't. We just can't do it.
It's weird. When
I feel like someone should have stepped in
crackheads.
and just said that we can't do this.
When I was replaying one, what I found obviously when you replay it, you know the context of everything, and so the world is still incredible to explore again. Because I haven't played it since the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, so I haven't played it for a long, long time. But like, you know the context of everything, but you don't remember the specifics. And so I'm playing it through, and I'm almost discovering everything. And again, I'm like, oh, this just really was good. But then halfway through, my brain did go, but yeah, why are they little girls? And it was like, I was like, why is this a thing? And I was like, why are they only little girls but not little boys? And then it was just like a lot of these things come to it, and there are sort of vague justifications for it, but it does very much feel like a situation where they came up with the cool concept and then just tried to justify it. But it's
like, oh, this is really cool. Big daddies, little girls, yeah.
That's not cool, Adam. That just sounds creepy. That sounds so creepy.
Exactly. That's probably what they were told, and they were like, I don't know, we kind of like the design, but could you like not make it as porny?
No, let's be honest. Whoever designed it might.
Well, he's got a big drill on his hand, so maybe he drills it. No.
Whoever decided that they should go with that idea might have more sinister intentions than we may have first thought.
What, the big daddy and the little girl, and there's a drill with them.
Oh, dude.
It is, to be fair, that's the wrong thing to say. I mean, it is like, it just is very unsettling. Like, when you see, like, the openings, like, you know, the opening bit where you first see the big daddy and the little sister through the glass, and the little sister is about to get attacked by someone, and then the big daddy jumps down and stops the attack. It's like, it is creepy. It is unsettling to watch.
It is, yeah.
And like the justification for them is basically that no one would attack them because they're little girls, is basically what one of the audiobooks says. But like, it is genuinely like unsettling to watch in a weird way. Like, because in my head I remember playing it and not really thinking about it too deep. But now when you go back and you're like, it's all very great game though.
It is a bit not right.
So
not right is the right word.
The little girls taking crack out of the crackheads, the dead crackheads, whilst being escorted by mutilated crackheads. Yeah. Oh, crackheads in that game.
I mean, if you put it like that, sure.
I mean, I mean, all you have to do is just replace the Adam with crack, and not much change. Not much changes apart from the superpowers.
It's a great idea for a podcast.
Replace me with crack.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't ever move from where I'm sat ever.
Well, we heard about your trips in Amsterdam. Yeah. It's good though. I do want to play 2. I do want to play 2 eventually. I never play. At the time, I played it for like 2 or 3 hours, and it just never hooked me. But I do want to go back and actually just see it, because a lot of people do swear by it. I feel like they're probably wrong, but I'll at least give it a shot.
Hey, I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong on anything.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm never wrong on anything. Jesus.
I'm always correct. Yep.
If there's one word I would use to describe you, it is infallible.
Thanks.
No worries, man.
Thanks.
Okay, that worked. That's a 40-minute conversation. How did that work? Jesus Christ!
I feel like if you start us talking, we don't stop regularly, so it's fine.
Yeah, that is fair. We did just sort of not finish talking. Yeah. So as a part of the podcast, when we start our podcast, we probably are going to ask each other what we've just played this last week.
When we start.
Yeah, when we start the podcast, we should 40 minutes into the podcast every week. When we start. Has anyone been playing anything interesting this week?
I have been playing. I played a bunch of things just today, actually. I've just been hopping between stuff as it catches my fancy. I've been playing...
What have you been playing?
Sorry, a bit of a yawn there.
The yawning simulator.
No, I was playing a Hitman game.
Oh, which one?
I tweeted a screenshot of it before. It was, I think it was from like, I think it was like a reboot or something. It's just called it's like Hitman first season sort of thing.
Oh, is it the episodic thing?
Yeah, it's
Square Enix made?
Yeah, it's the episodic thing that Square Enix made.
Dude, it's a banger.
I have to admit, I'm not a fan of a lot of the level designs in the game. It has to be said.
So if you're playing, you're playing 2016. So that would be, you're talking like Paris. You're talking the Italy one. Which one? Like Which ones are you not a fan of, and which ones do you like?
The problem is with games like Hitman Blood Money, there was a lot of set pieces within the environment which kind of led you along certain directions without actually having to waypoint you. So it felt like you were actually putting together this puzzle yourself. Where I feel like in these newer Hitman games, they sort of design the levels before they design the actual challenges that they're going to put in them. So I feel like that's why they have to add extra stuff and extra ways to waypoint you to go do certain tasks, like when the game waypoints you to disguise yourself as a specific person or whatever. I feel like that's taken away some of the, I don't know, I feel like that takes away some of the challenge, and some of the challenge in the way that you figure out how to sort of solve how. Sorry, I'm not wording this very well.
No, I understand what you mean. I think one of the things. I mean, Adam, first of all, did you play it?
No, I've not played it.
So
so I don't know what's going on.
So all right, fair. So Hitman is a game about a bald man. No, one of the things that I did, because I love Hitman. Like, I'm big into Hitman, in a big, like, all of them.
It did kick me out there.
I wonder what had happened. I was like, oh, where's Louis?
No, it kicked me out.
I didn't even see it. I apologize. I wasn't even concentrating.
So I've got 2 separate recordings of this.
It's fine. My recordings all that matters.
So, like, when I started playing Hitman, I like turned off that thing, because I remembered from playing the Paris section at someone else's house that the sort of hints were like frustrating me. Because, like you say, I like going into the levels and just sort of figuring it out organically, like hearing conversations from people, trying to figure it out like as we go. And there are certain things where it's sort of almost impossible to figure out by yourself. Like, you see what you have to do, but you can't quite get there without the hint. But I do feel like there are some levels, like I think Paris nails it. I think Sapienza, that's the Italy level, I think that's really freaking good. But like the one where you have to kill, the target is the musician and the lawyer, that one's really convoluted.
Yeah, that's just rough. Yeah, it's just rough. Like, you can't do it without the hints, really. And even I feel like even killing the lawyer guy was just a challenge in itself. I mean, it becomes easier once, because I did actually figure out that one for myself, because I found because the first thing I saw was him walking in and like tasting all the food, being a dick. So, and when obviously,
yeah, how dare he taste food? Fuck you.
Well, no, he like eats food and then he just abuses someone for the food and then wanders off.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So after I've killed the dude, the musician guy, I go into a bathroom and there's like some poison in there, and I'm like, well, that obviously clicks, so I'm just going to do that. And that worked. Though, however, it was lethal poison, so no, because obviously when you give people poison in that game, they just get a bit sick and go to the toilet, and then you just drown them in the toilet.
Yeah.
So I was expecting him to do that, so I just waited around, and then he just died. I'm like,
he just drops dead.
He just drops dead, and I'm like, oh, I would have gone back to get the suit and left a lot sooner.
It's weird because, like, I did in the first one, 2016 or season 1, whatever you want to call it. I did do every single mission without any hints, just by figuring it out as I go. But there were certainly some scenarios where I was forcing the issue, and I think like he was one who I really struggled with, I did figure out eventually how you can. There is a way you can do it without like just killing him. Like you can do it through like luring him to a place where he eventually. I'm trying to avoid spoiling it, but like you can lure him to an apartment basically and kill him there, where it's not too much of a problem. But finding that out was really like a long process. But I think Blood Money does it a lot better. Like Blood Money, I think Blood Money is just a better game if I'm being honest, because I think like every level in Blood Money is great, whereas Hitman 2016, like some of the later ones specifically, are nowhere near as good.
I will protest that every level in Blood Money is good. I think they're all good apart from one.
Which one don't you like?
One that is really bad. It's called Death on the Mississippi. It's one where you're on like a steamboat and you're having to kill just a load of people. Basically, you have to kill all 6 members of the Gator Gang and the ship's captain.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean. I did find myself just running about pushing them off. With just every time they go anywhere near the edge, I'm like, whoop, right. It was a bit of an awkward one, especially the bit at the end when you get to the top and you kill the captain at the top. I don't know whether it was a bug or not, but I just couldn't find a way to kill them without the entire ship knowing my shit. Like, it was very frustrating. But apart from that, you're right. I like that level still because I like the concept, but I don't think an execution was great. Every other level I think is a banger in Blood Money. But I do love 2016. I do genuinely really love it. But it's not as good as Blood Money. But then again, I don't know what is as good as Blood Money.
No, that is the pinnacle. God, a level that is great in Hitman Blood Money. I like the sort of the weird dance club level where it's like Heaven and Hell one. Heaven and Hell. That one's fantastic.
Adam, have you ever played Hitman at all?
No idea.
You should try it, Blood Money, because Blood Money's great.
I probably should. I'll probably enjoy I don't know. Like I like stealth games and shit like that. I have fun. So like some of the stuff you're describing me reminds me of the one Dark Brotherhood quest in Oblivion that I really like. But like I just never got around to it. So I don't know. Yeah. One of those games where I just sort of never got around to. There's a lot of those sort of games that I just never got around to.
The thing is, it's like a really different. They're like, I consider them. I mean, they are stealth games, but I consider them more puzzle games than anything else. Because it's like
I've heard that,
it's like a really convoluted puzzle, but it also has multiple solutions.
Yeah, like, and it's this. It gives you the tools, and then just sort of goes, go on, figure it out, and. What I love is the moments in Hitman that are my favorite, and I like don't get me wrong, as much as I love going through a mission in the most perfect way possible, on like managing to kill everyone so it looks like accidents and then getting out as if I'm the greatest hitman who's ever lived. As much as I love that, like the bits that I remember most are when you think you've nailed it and then just one person sees and then the entire plan falls apart and you're forced to like improvise on the spot to try and get out of these convoluted situations, especially like some of the targets who are really deep into levels, like, and you have to like, there's a winding way to get out. There's when the music starts swelling and everything's kicking off. I do love. It's just, it's a brilliant game. It really is. I can hear in my head almost as we're talking about it, the music that plays in Blood Money when you've killed everyone and you're trying to get to the exit, and I can hear like the sort of blunt nature of like the guns. The guns always have this really specific sound. It's like they all have this really specific sound, and I can just hear it in my head. And like the mechanic where like when you're about to die, if you get like headshots, then you come back to life again. Oh, the game's just good, man. It's just good.
I just love the way 47 dies in that game. Just falls face first really slowly.
Yeah, so like for context, Adam, when you're about to die, your screen sort of slowly turns red, classic video game stuff, and you start to move slower and slower in slow motion. But if you pop off like I think it's 3 headshots, then you get instantly like revived essentially, so you're no longer just about to die, and so you can carry on sort of trying to escape, and it's this like last ditch mechanic. But what is the slower you get, and then eventually you just die. But he just sort of crumples to the floor. He just sort of
so weird.
And it's great. Oh, great game.
I think my favorite level is either got to be the redneck wedding one, the weird Hugh Hefner's Christmas Mansion one,
Yeah,
or the rehab clinic one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I think my favorite is in Blood Money specifically is the one on the like not cul-de-sac, but the one on like the sort of housing place.
Oh,
where
dude,
where you go into the house to kill the
I
mafia
want
guy.
you know how you can like put people in the garbage truck. I once obsessively fed every single person to that on that level to what I called. To what I refer to as the Lord and like the Lord Demon Garbo. Garbo is hungry for your flesh. So I just fed everyone in that level to Garbo. Even like the FBI backup that come after you've alerted everyone. I killed every single person on that level and fed them all to Garbo.
What a game!
What
a stupid game.
Whoa. Why was I allowed to do that? I love the newspaper headlines you get as well, like after you do mental stuff like deranged maniac slaughters 37.
Yeah, so like for context, at the end of each level when you complete it in the loading screen, it gives you like a newspaper which talks about discussing the murder that has occurred, aka your assassination. But obviously, like if you're really good at it, and it was like he was killed by falling off a balcony by accident, blah blah blah. There are no leads as to what happened, and it's like you're like, yeah, I'm so cool. But then when you go on like a murder spree, and it's just like deranged lunatic kills 84 people, and it's like yeah. And it talks about like how many shots you missed and stuff, and oh
my god,
it's great. Oh,
and thing is, and do you know how because the newspaper knows exactly how many shots you fired, and do you know how? And do you know how the newspaper knows that? Because of the amount of shell casings on the floor. And I'm like, this is just the game's way of just giving me stats. But I like the way they improvise.
I like it, yeah. Like the weird in-universe description of like, oh, this is how we know how many shots we've fired.
It's like, oh, this person was a shit gunman because he fired 37 shots, but only 5 of them hit his target because we can see from all the shell casings and bullet holes.
That's the headline news. Shit gunman kills 3.
I mean, that's literally the lead. To be fair, that is what it is. I think not enough games do that. Like, give you sort of, it's a weird, like GTA does it, where you'll be just driving along and then on the radio there'll be a news story about something you did like 2 missions ago, and you'll be like, oh, that was me. I know what happened there.
Adding a score, like a good achievable score, it gives that game replayability, and it gives something for you to work towards, because I think I've played through every level in that game at least 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
At least. Probably more. And it was all to just try and get the best score I possibly could.
Yeah, there's something unbelievably like satisfying about that moment when you finally where you kill like the targets you need to, and they both look like accidents, and you've done nothing else, and no one's seen you, and there's no leads, and you're just like, I am the greatest human being. I am so smart.
And you've recovered the security tapes as well. It's just like you've just done everything perfect. You've just perfectly mastered this whole plan, and it feels great.
It's an amazing game. I love it. I love it so much.
So, have you ever poisoned the sausage to give to the dog?
No. In which is this in Blood Money?
Yeah, this is the Hugh Hefner level, because obviously he's followed by that little dog.
Oh yeah. Adam, there's this right. So in the Hugh Hefner level, which we're just going to call it from now, and basically there's it's like a big Playboy mansion in like a snowy mountain, and they're making like porn upstairs. But anyway, there's a dog walking around in one of the sections of the level, and it's like a little Chihuahua type thing. It's not a big dog; it's like a little sausage dog, but it's like a little dog. But
it's like a Bouchon Frise or whatever they're called. It's like
it's tiny, and you wouldn't think twice about it. But like one of the things that can lower your final score in the ratings is how many witnesses you had. And so say
the dog's a witness.
the dog counts as a witness, which makes no sense because in logic you think
because the dog's not going to tell
you
the
police. The police could interview that person and find out sort of he was bald, he was less tall. That's sort of like building a case.
Yeah.
The dog's not going to tell you, but the dog does count as a witness.
The dog can't say anything. Yeah. The dog doesn't. Mr. Dog, you saw the criminal. What did he look like? Oh, he was bald, you say. He had a barcode on the back of his head. Wonderful.
No, and the way to kill that dog is that there's a little sausage in the kitchen area, and you poison it and throw it on the ground, and the dog eats it and dies.
That seems bad for the dog.
It doesn't end well for him, apparently.
I'm surprised we didn't get many stories about that in the news.
Dog.
Hitman's a horrible game that glamorizes killing dogs. I'm really surprised we've not had that as a story in the news.
I mean,
yeah, that is surprising actually. Peter would be all over that
Mass
shit.
Effect, the evil sex game. Considering we've had Mass Effect, the evil sex game, how have we not had Hitman allows you to kill dogs?
True. I think it's like
you cannot pet the dog. You cannot pet the dog in Hitman.
No,
can you not pet it?
You cannot pet the dog.
You can murder it in cold blood.
You can murder the dog.
You can just kill it.
I love that Twitter page. Can you pet the dog?
That's a Twitter page.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
Dude.
It does. Can you pet the dog in this game? And if you can or can't.
Oh my god,
it's great.
That's awful.
It's vital information. It's the stuff you really need to know.
It is. It really is vital. Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly get a drink. Be right back.
Ooh. What else have we been playing this week?
What have you been playing,
Charlie? What have I been playing? Fucking nothing. I'm playing mobile games. And then that's about it really. Just been playing my mobile games, my gachas. I have one that I play, which is the Final Fantasy one. Because of course. And then I am playing sort of the Fire Emblem one as well, but I don't really play that. I just sort of log in every day to get all the stuff that they're giving away for free and then leave it. Don't even really play that one. So I'm a bit boring on them. It's been fun playing the Final Fantasy one. We've got our new character, a global exclusive character, the second one, which Japan haven't got because they're not allowed to have it.
Right.
This is RNA a Highwind from Final Fantasy 15.
Which
means nothing.
Why would you say they're not? Why are they not allowed?
Well, it's a global exclusive.
Oh, okay, that's the
thing. There are two forms of the game. So it came out in Japan a year before it came out globally. Okay. So there's the Japan version of the game, and then there's the global version of the game, which Japanese people don't play, I'm sure, which is in English. So that's pretty much why. We've got our exclusive character. It's good.
I have returned with a crisp Coca-Cola # not spawn.
A crisp Coca-Cola.
It's the refreshing taste.
Yeah. But no, I don't play any games. I'm boring. Other than gacha games now. I need to get stuff down.
Have you seen that that Pokemon ripoff? The one that's on Steam at the moment. Yeah.
What is this? Absolutely. What is this Pokemon ripoff?
Adam, do you want to explain it? That's what I'm referring. Yeah,
I don't really know much about it. I think it's it's Pokemon, but it's like a big MMO.
Okay.
But when you think
it's not
MMO,
Pokemon, it's
you think stuff. World of Warcraft level. No. It looks like I saw some footage of it on Outside Extra recently.
Pokemon.
It's Pokemon. It is just Pokemon. Everything about it is Pokemon. I don't know how they've got away with this.
Yeah. It's because they've not called it Pokemon, and none of the designs are similar to the Pokemon. It's you see those fucking shit mobile games with actual Pokemon advertising. Play this Monpoke. It's a mobile game where you get to play as Sorbulb and Toolsquare and Mandachar. And then it's okay.
Mandachar.
Why have you not been sued out the fucking ass?
Yeah.
But Temtem's not. It's not the same. It plays like Pokemon, but loads of games play like Pokemon.
Yeah, but it looks like
So,
it really plays like Pokemon.
I feel like every
and again,
JRPG sort of plays like Pokemon, really.
Yeah, and Pokemon plays like every JRPG. Like Pokemon's just Dragon Quest in a monster collecting like
simulator
form. That's all it is. Yeah, it's just literally Dragon Quest. Like all of these games are just Dragon Quest.
Well, you know, they've all got like your old turn-based JRPG combat, don't they?
Well, less so now, but yeah. Like,
well,
although to be fair, turn-based combat's not really that big a deal anymore. Not many games have turn-based combat anymore.
It's because it's a bit shit. Let's be honest. Like, I like Pokemon. In fact, I really, really like Pokemon as a lot of people can protest to. But I don't know. I think we're in an age now where turn-based combat it just doesn't make for very appealing gameplay, especially when all these game mechanics and like game graphics look so hyper realistic now. Where just having a turn-based combat system just looks a bit. I don't know. It just looks a bit out of place.
I disagree because like some games are so Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age, still got that turn-based combat in it. Still, like, it's a really good game. Persona 5, still turn-based combat, still amazing.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like Atlas games hit that very specific, weird like niche where everything's just all super cartoonish and weird.
It doesn't necessarily work in like realistic graphic styles. And
I
stuff
had to relive my worst nightmare last week as well. Playing the last block puzzle in Catherine. Well, no, the last the last one before the breakup happens.
That's a 3D platformer.
We're having to escort Catherine through. Oh god, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Do you like escort missions? No. Would you like an escort mission in your puzzle game?
God,
what do you mean?
It is the worst. It is the worst. Oh,
I don't understand how they managed to do it, but yes, they put an escort mission in a puzzle game.
I watched my friend play it on a stream. She made it look easy, so I thought, you know what? I'll play it again. And I'm like, dude, how is this easy? How is this ever easy? This is horrible.
But you can have turn-based in a realistic environment in like XCOM. I think it works perfectly in XCOM.
Also, is there
that's more of a strategy game than an RPG, though, isn't it? I think he's sort of meaning like you stand opposite each other and take turns to sort of swing a sword or whatever. It's not going to be in For Honor.
Is there a way to turn off? Is there a way to turn off that thing where it says edge every time you move a block?
No, Catherine, I don't think so.
Yeah, I hate that. Edge.
It's just very precise instructions for you.
Edge. Such edge.
The edge.
I don't know.
From you too.
Like I look at I got told, I don't know if this is true. You would be the person to tell me, Adam, if anyone knows. Can you go back to the original or something similar to the original combat in the Final Fantasy VII remake, or is it just the new style combat?
Yeah, no. So there are two styles of combat in Final Fantasy VII remake. The default standard is using the sort of action E controls, but you can sort of, I guess, stop time and use sort of ATB kind of system. Where, like, I mean, I don't know if it's stopping time or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there is a sort of similar ATB kind of thing to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not that I know. There's one in 15 as well.
Yeah, because like I've been looking at it, and like you know more than most, my history of Final Fantasy is poor to say the least. And like I've been looking at 7 Remake, and I've not really been thinking about it that much, even though 7 is the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played any sort of extent, and even then it's a very small, very, very small amount of. But I was watching the latest trailer they released, the one where it shows Cloud and the cross-dressing stuff, which I was super into. I was like, yes, I want this game now.
Yeah, it's great. It looks so cool.
And like the more Final Fantasy 15 modern sort of style combat actually sort of turns me off in a way. Like I look at it and I go, I don't know why. There's just something about it which doesn't appeal to me. Whereas like if it was to have sort of a combat style, not identical to the first, not identical to the original by any stretch of imagination, but similar to the first in that it is turn-based, I would probably be more likely to buy it.
I don't know how turn-based it is. So it might be very similar to the way 15's worked in that the action kind of pauses or slows down and you get to then pick commands. And then they sort of then rolls out in front of you by like at full speed. I don't think it's turn-based, but I think it's definitely a slower version of the game. It's not as action-based. But I'm not too sure what they're going to do with 7.
I never played Final Fantasy 15. I just played the episode that came free with that other game.
Oh, the
demo.
Was it the demo? Which was it? The one with you with Carbuncle, or was it something else?
It's like episode to Sky or something like that.
Yeah, Sky. Oh, that's the no, that's the big open world one, isn't it? So you're wandering around the big open field and you've got to hunt the behemoth. I thought that was really fun. I played that.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Super cool. If you enjoyed that, you'll enjoy 15 like a lot. Like if you enjoyed Dusky, you'll enjoy 15 loads. Because they're very similar games. It's basically it is like a very representative demo.
I mean,
fact,
I do like the idea of lovely boys adventure for lovely boys.
Mate, those characters are incredible. Those characters, the 4 guys are just like the best characters. They're like so relatable, so like actual just guys who, I don't know, they're just really cool. It's hard to say. Just because it's like, it's a Final Fantasy game, so obviously you think the characters are like not relatable in any way, sense, or form. But no, these guys are really cool. They're just guys. They're just like really good friends, even though one is the prince of an entire country.
Is it as good as Final Fantasy 9?
No, it's not as good as Final Fantasy 9.
It's not good.
It's good. Final Fantasy 9 is incredible.
Is 9 the one? Is 9 the one with the dance number at the beginning?
In what way?
Like I remember,
there's a bit where you're kind of doing a play.
Yeah,
you've got to do a sword fight.
It's on PS2. No. Okay, well, move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. That's like already.
Are you thinking Final Fantasy X 2?
Maybe
with Yuna and.
Yuna sounds like a name I know.
You're like at a concert.
Yeah. This is what I'm thinking of. This is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, X 2.
I'm backing out of the conversation again.
That one's less famous for its quality.
Which one's the one with the laugh?
10.
Okay. Great laugh. Great scene. That
cool,
scene's that scene is the only thing I know from that game is that scene, and I love that scene.
I genuinely like that scene a lot. I think it's memed and it's taken out of context, but it is just a really nice scene, just in general. Even though the laugh is awful, the Japanese laugh is also way worse. So it's not even just a bad voice acting example. It's just like that is how it's supposed to be.
I like it.
Oh God!
As someone who has no skin in the game, I like it.
It's a fun scene. It's a nice scene. It's like ha 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 ha.
It's great.
It just works. It just works. But everyone looks at him afterwards like, you're a fucking weird guy. What you do? You know.
So Charlie, what I've been wanting to say is, what else do you think that I, Louis Birtwistle, have played this week?
Oh no!
What have I played, Charlie? What do you think that I would always play?
Have you been playing Skyrim?
No, I'm actually not. I just wanted you to say it.
I don't believe you. It's the truth. I just don't believe you.
Actually, no. I haven't played it for a while, actually. I had to delete it on my Xbox for space reasons.
I might have played Skyrim if I had my PS4 in my room.
And it's a bit painful, actually.
When was the last time you played
having to delete Skyrim?
No, the fact that I just don't have the choice to play it. Oh, God, I actually might play it. I actually might play it again. I actually might delete something and reinstall it.
I mean, what I would say is wait until after this.
You don't do it now.
No, I'm not going to literally do it
Right now.
I mean, you say that like that hasn't happened in the past, but
Yeah, I remember the one podcast that we recorded where me and you were both playing Skyrim as we did the podcast.
Yeah, it was bad. I don't know. I don't get the same hit as I do when... It's like when you take a drug way too much. And
you've taken too much.
You just don't feel the same effects anymore. Like I remember how I used to feel when I first started playing that game, and God, it felt so alive, man. It was so good. And
I just kind of feel comfortable now playing Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like now, Skyrim's kind of a comfort game for me.
I've just done everything in it.
Kind of just chill out.
I've just done everything. Yeah. Everything. I've done everything in it.
You can't do everything. There's always Radiant quests.
But those are all just repeats of the previous quest.
They are, yeah. They are. They're not good.
They're just the same quest, but repeated. I've literally done everything.
Sometimes I just like to put it on and like chill out and
everything.
Kill some bandits and shit. That's all I do.
I don't know. I always think about what weird and wacky character can I create, but if I'm going to create a fighter, all I'm going to do is just going to join the fighty people and do all the fighty stuff with the fighty people. It's just going to be the same, but with a different character.
You've got to set yourself a goal. Set yourself a goal. Just be like, right, I'm going to be like a super role player. I'm going to steal everything in the game or whatever.
I tried that once and I broke my character because of the stuff with the Dawnguard DLC. Yeah, I'm going to turn. Right. I think I might just turn off all achievements when I start this character again because the amount of work I put in and the fact that I had to kill that run was painful because of how far I got with it. I was basically making a character that didn't use weapons. They only fought with their fists.
Oh, that's fine. You can do that. That's really easy.
Yeah, it's really good as well. But
can be. You need to get the things, the little gauntlets, and
learn the enchant.
They're the gloves that give your unharmed stuff really good, and then enchant them into something else, I guess. But
yeah, what I like is the animations for that.
Oh yeah, there's some really cool ones.
Yeah, you get animations where you pile drive people. There's one where you suplex them, and it's great.
Oh dear, it is great. So Charlie, you didn't tell us what you were playing.
Well, I mean, speaking of suplexes, because actually I've been playing Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah,
because I've started to teach myself to speedrun it. Because I don't know why. I was watching.
You just like pain. You just want pain and suffering in your life.
I do, and I like genuinely like Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, and so
it's great. It's fantastic.
And I went through and replayed it a couple of months ago, and I was just loving my life. And I think it was while I was watching ADGQ a couple of weeks ago, or whenever it happened, and I just went, do you know what? I feel like learning to speedrun something, and Resident Evil 4 was just there. And the suplex animation never gets boring in that game. When you shoot someone in the knee or whatever, and they go down on one knee, you can run up and you can do the kick, but then later on in the game, you can do the suplexes, and their heads just explodes. It's just excellent. Just as both a Resident Evil and as a wrestling fan, I very much enjoy watching their head explode. But yeah, I've been playing a crap ton of Resident Evil 4. And Pez because I'm boring and predictable. I'm also slowly working my way through the Mass Effect trilogy, but that's for a second.
Speaking about games done quick for a second, do you ever? This is probably I mean, before you say it, I am probably one of those cancerous people, but do you ever see like any of the cringe highlights?
Oh, always.
I have done. Sam's made me look at them. What, when they play terrible games, or
no? It was just like when like the streamers or just the people in the background do really dumb stuff. That's like really weird. Like there's a dude who just there's this really awkward looking dude who keeps looking around him, and this really really attractive girl sat next to him. And I remember she gets up and leaves, and then he gets up, looks around for a moment, turns around, and just face first in the chair that she was just sat in.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I've seen that clip.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh no!
I have to show you that it's bad. He just turns around and then just puts his head in the chair.
And like
chair
it sounds like Louis exaggerating, but no, my man dives into that chair. It's
he dives into the chair
really?
in front of.
That's just the worst.
There's loads of people around him as well whilst he's doing it.
Why would you do that?
The thing is like those events are like they're amazing events. They really are, and like they raise an insane amount of money for charity, and they are brilliant. But obviously, if you live stream 24 hours, 7 days a week, you're gonna catch some stuff on film that you probably.
You don't do that. You're in a fucking public place on camera.
That dude that just randomly announced his girlfriend's like transition or whatever, and it's just like she might have not wanted to. She might have not wanted to expose that on stream.
I know, right? Come on.
It's like, dude, why'd you just say this?
I mean, some people, man. Some people.
But then again,
I did catch some of the games on like some of the. I think it was the last one I watched. A couple of them that they did, like Goose Game and stuff.
There are some like it is the thing. It's the event that got me into. Well, actually, to be fair, I was watching speedruns like way back in the day on YouTube, before I even really knew what they were. But like since I started watching SDGQ and AGQ about 2014, 15, or whatever it was, like when it was just a single room and there was like 20 of them, whereas now it's like, I mean, thousands of people turn up to this thing. It is an incredible event, and it makes speedrunning really accessible.
Yeah, it's good.
Like the amount of stuff I've learned about it just through watching those events is nuts. Because otherwise, it's.
When I was watching it was last year, I think, when I was watching the Sonic Mania one, which is really good. Like they had a race event. But I like some of the dumb 2D platform ones. I was watching the Mario Maker race event that they had on us this time as well. That was really cool. Just in general, Sonic Mania is crazy as well. Like there's some of those things where I'm just like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's so cool.
Have you seen all the glitches and stuff in the Spyro Reignited trilogy?
Yeah,
the game's more broken than the original.
I thought that no, because some of them, I remember seeing some of the Crash stuff, and they like purposefully put in some of the old glitches, or like all of the old glitches. Just because they wanted it to be as.
Thing is with Crash Insane Trilogy is that it worked off the original source code of the game, but with Spyro you didn't have the same luxury because Insomniac lost it.
Yeah, that seems to be really common.
Yeah, Insomniac lost the source code for the career-defining franchise.
Yeah, but at the same time, have you still got your coursework from secondary school? You know what I mean? Like these things get
that's not career.
Though,
yeah, but
Louis' coursework isn't a million selling product.
Yeah, it isn't like a career defining moment.
Yeah, but at the same time, you delete Skyrim, you need space. These things happen.
I've got all my my college coursework from when I did all that. That's important to me. I kept all of that. It's all in a tub.
I threw it away as fast as I could. I don't even know if I have my certificate.
Just like, I like that. Just threw it away fast as I could. Don't even look at it again.
I don't even remember what half of them were on. I don't. It's done. It's done out here. But I mean, like some of those speedruns are amazing. The Hitman Blood Money one they had a couple of years ago is really good. Which you should go and watch just because the way they break that game up.
I've never watched a Hitman Blood Money speedrun.
The ways in which they break that game are amazing. It's just. Some old games are just broken as all hell, and I love it for it. I
watched the Fire Emblem Three Houses speedrun that they did this year. It was really cool. Obviously, the game just came out last year. It was really cool because they got the main one of the main voice actors to come and do like a sort of a live phone-in for half of the speedrun. While doing the speedrun of the game, doing like a Q&A with one of the main voice actors of the game, which is genuinely really cool. And he donated like a couple $100 and stuff. I was like, I'm going to donate a bunch of money as well because it's really cool that you guys are doing this. It's like, oh wow, what a nice guy.
Have you ever seen the speed cripple glitch in Fallout 3 and New Vegas?
Yeah.
It's like a way to make yourself go faster, like really fast, by crippling yourself.
Oh, okay.
I'm also a big fan in Fallout 3
where he swims backwards.
If you glitch out of the vault early. Because in Fallout 3 your character is mute. So you never hear your character speak. But if you glitch out the vault early, you technically don't go past like being 16 or whatever. So you still
and
have
your character has the voice of a child, and your character still says like, you know, like all the voice lines that like just NPC children have in the game.
Oh no!
Your character just says random stuff like that, like when they encounter stuff.
I guess it was nothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess it was nothing.
I know the baby. I know that you can glitch out as the baby. I'd be like a baby.
I mean,
in the wasteland, and that doesn't work.
There's actually a speed. There is an actual speedrun category called Fallout 3 Bad Ending, which is basically from the moment you get like, how long does it take from the moment you get control of your character to the moment we can kill yourself?
Oh, okay.
And I'm
sure it's not too far.
Turns out you can, as a baby, glitch through into a room where there's like rad roaches and they kill you.
Yeah.
What I love about like having like starting to delve into actually learning to speedrun these things and stuff, speedrun.com is a great website. Like having like I mean, just having the utility of having all of these speedruns and being able to literally just click on anyone you want and just watch it is amazing. But seeing the ridiculous and crazy categories people come up with are like just like there's so many stupid ones. Like I can't remember any off the top of my head, but there's so many stupid like categories for any game you can think of in your head. Like time to sandwich, where like you can in a game where you can just find a sandwich as fast as possible and eat it. It's just like in just random stupid games. It's
that's a good category, I think.
I like or Pokemon Blue reverse badge acquisition.
Oh no!
Like that.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, so you can tell what happens in that, right? You get all the gym badges in the reverse order, and then then you beat the Elite Four in the reverse order.
That sounds less difficult than beating the. I assume they're all like level standard or whatever. I don't know, but.
Well, I think the idea is you don't actually beat them. I think because you just sort of glitch out into what I can only describe as what must have been like a dev tool or whatever.
Yeah, I get that. Fair enough. I was just actually assuming that you went to the last gym first and like beat like your level fucking. You'd
have to watch the video. It's weird. The whole experience just looks weird.
Fair enough. I will try that out at some point, I'm sure.
But there's just like people just like they will speedrun anything you can think of. Like I remember I was looking at to be clear, I would never ever speedrun it, but I was looking at GTA 5 just out of like curiosity about like how quick could someone beat GTA 5, just like, and then one of the categories in there was just called golf. So, and I didn't look at it, but I assume how fast can you beat the golf minigame? I assume, I don't know, but it's just that sort of level of like golf. This is like people will do anything, and it's like it's a
GTA
weird
5
community within itself, and it's amazing.
GTA 5 golf percent.
Yeah, like
golf
I don't know if it's how quick can you get to play golf or how quickly can you just play a round of golf. I don't know, but like it's just so weird, but in the best possible way. It's like finding games and just doing it in the stupidest way possible.
It's just doing games wrong.
Yeah,
you're just doing them wrong.
Games wrong.
Which, if anything, is partly some of the best ways to do games IMO.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
Oh god, I was going to say so. Sorry, I just had like another really funny note on speed. Oh, yeah. Speaking of like how people just randomly speedrun any just old shit, I also found that there's like a competitive scene for any game you can think of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I learned the other day that there is a competitive community for Shrek Super Slam.
Oh yeah.
How did you only just learn that the other day? I've been to a competitive Shrek Super Slam tournament.
Dude, there is competitive Shrek Super Slam.
Yes. I have been to a tournament.
God, that's awful.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't go for Shrek. We went to play Smash, and they did a side event of Shrek.
That's so niche. That's so niche.
That game is also kind of like a rip-off of Smash, though. So
Shrek Super Slam.
Yeah,
and there's also competitive. And there's also competitive Catherine. I don't know how, but
I love competitive Catherine. It's amazing.
Why is there competitive Catherine, Adam?
It's so good though. I think they did it at Evo one year, and it was so good.
How do you have competitive Catherine?
It's a race to the top of the level.
Okay.
So, two people on the same stage, and they just race to the top of the stage. It's really fun.
Play Tetris, dudes. Just play.
That's not the same. How's there a Tetris battle royale? Come on, Louis.
I mean, yeah, that is mad that just exists. Like,
yeah,
I still don't know. I still can't believe we're quite living in that timeline where Tetris battle royale exists. Like, it's brilliant, and I don't understand why it happened.
I don't know, but it works. Apparently, I've not played it.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing it. I love the fact it exists.
That reminds me of that game that Jim Sterling covered on the Steam Greenlight trailer, of where you're. It's like replaying history or whatever, and it has slave Tetris in it.
Fuck's sake!
And I remember there was somewhere where it made headlining news because of slave Tetris.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that's bad.
You pack these slaves into a boat and it's slave Tetris.
Oh, it's really not good. Oh.
No, it was bad.
I mean, I feel like you can find the worst of humanity on Steam Greenlight. Let's be real.
That's all Steam exists for. To be fair, just to be the worst.
Remember, Steam was nice. That was good, wasn't it? That was fun.
No, I've never been in that world.
There was like a time where I was like, "Oh, Steam's good."
Before the days of Greenlight and just allowing any old shit to go up, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're a bit like that.
Like
it does happen.
You used to get games like Water Simulator or Grass Simulator.
I remember when there was a simulator for every little thing.
There was a moment in time when that just became big business.
Yeah, Simulator X.
There was a game, but that was. In fact, I'm really happy that they didn't call this game Bread Simulator.
Oh, I am bread.
Yeah, I'm really happy they didn't call it Bread Simulator.
Yeah, they could have called it Bread
Simulator. To be fair, I think they'd already done that joke in it, so they couldn't do it again, really. Like, as a studio, they'd already done the simulator joke, so they can't really go for a second simulator joke. It feels a bit...
Well, didn't they also make Surgeon Simulator? It wasn't the same studio?
Yeah.
But I remember, I actually kind of liked I Am Bread. Like, I think that studio...
Good game, man.
I think that studio knows how to do, like, wacky control physics that aren't that frustrating.
I don't know, I kind of find Surgeon Simulator a bit frustrating, but I Am Bread's really fun.
I find Surgeon Simulator frustrating, but in a... I don't want to say in a positive way, but like...
Wait, so it's sort of an endearing way.
Like, it's like... Once the joke wears thin, obviously I'm not about that life, but like... In bursts.
For about 10 minutes, I'm like, haha, this is fun.
Yeah, especially if you're playing with other people as well, that helps.
I'm sure, yeah.
But then again, that works for anything. And it's one of my pet peeves is just the idea of like a multiplayer game is good because you're playing with other people, and it's like, yeah, because you're with friends, so obviously it's going to be better. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, just before we get off like the speedrunning thing, like just as a recommendation, if you're not super into speedruns, A, just go and look at a game you really love being speedrun and just sort of see if you're into it.
Yeah.
But B, if you just don't even know what you want to look at, there was one from GDQ I think it was last year or maybe the year before. I can't even remember if it was SDGQ or ADGQ or AGDQ. Sorry, not DGQ. Whatever. The point is, there's a Star Wars Phantom Menace one, and that is good. Go and watch that speedrun. That speedrun is good. I can't remember who did it. Maybe Saint Million.
Is that the old PC game?
It's on. I think it's the PS1 one.
It's a PS1. Yeah. I remember having that game.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, as a game, it's really not good. But there's some really fun, stupid glitches in that game. And as a speedrun, it's very fun. So I would recommend anyone go watch that. Yeah.
I sort of the same. I definitely find a game you like and watch it be speedrun if you don't know. Because I never was like, I was always like, speedrun, I don't really care. But then I saw like the Sonic Mania like speedrun race, and I was like, oh, this is super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was a competitive race, and I was like, oh, this is amazing, or whether it was because of the speedrun. But now I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? I actually really like watching Sonic speedruns. I really like watching like Mario. I watch people play Mario Maker because I like the sort of odd kind of platform race.
Watching a guy finish Spyro 2 in 8 minutes.
Yeah, doing like water glitches and stuff. It's like, I don't know. It's great.
It's like Spyro 2. You do the first level you're stuck in. Then you glitch your way into the first boss. Then you glitch your way into the second boss, and then you glitch your way into the last boss.
Yeah.
Game done.
I've seen Zelda. I've seen Ocarina of Time a lot. They always do that game, but the one I really liked watching was Half Minute Hero, which is a game I really like. It's the sort of JRPG that you finish in half a minute. And every level is half a minute long, or 30 seconds, and the speedrun of that is it's just really fun because it's really just optimized down to the last level where they're like really against the time. I might just like races. I might just like racing in this engine.
Oh, there's a
like
Spyro
every speedrun I like is a race.
From SGDQ 2016. There is a Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon race.
Ooh. Did they skateboard?
No.
It's weird because like the original speedrunning stuff I watched was because of Spyro the Dragon. There was a community of people. This was way back in the day. This was being 2009, maybe 2008, something like that. There was a community of Spyro Let's Players on YouTube, which a strange amount of them were from Australia, and I don't understand why. But people like, what were their names? Ratchet 5 was one of them. I'm trying to remember the rest of their names. I can't. But basically, there was a tournament they used to have called I'm a Speedrunner, Get Me Out of Here. And they would speed run. It was mostly Spyro, but they did Crash and stuff as well. And that was the first time I ever watched speedrunning stuff. It was years and years before. And I always loved watching it. It was just racing against each other to get this many eggs in Spyro 3 or beat the final boss or whatever. And then when the GDQ started, that's when I got super into it. But it's just weird to think like there's something just about watching a race of a game you like, because you sort of understand the context and the risk reward stuff that's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although there is one speedrun I suggest everyone should watch that you probably don't know what's going on in, and it's a GDQ one, and it's for a game called Urban Yeti.
Yes.
And it's the worst game I've ever seen.
What is Urban Yeti?
It's not good.
It's like a Game Boy game where you're a Yeti who's in the city, and you've got to, I don't know, go on a date or something with another Yeti.
All right.
It's fucking
weird. It's really good though, but it's like one of those things where you look at
the soundtrack
is a game
monstrous.
Yeah, it's like The Room, but as a game in a way. You're just looking at it, you're like, how does this exist? What is this even?
Is it not just like a meme game?
No.
Or is it a legit thing?
It's legit.
It's a legit game. It exists. It really exists.
Yeah, it was
because I remember I played this meme game. Well, I mean, I've played a few of these meme games, like Hat Off or Boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, Hat Off or Boyfriend's good though. No, not like that. The soundtrack is monstrous in Urban Yeti as well. Like seriously, like there's the sewer section where the soundtrack is. And then suddenly it just speeds up and goes. It's literally the worst soundtrack I've ever heard. We played it to our friend Paddy, and he got like anxiety from the actual soundtrack that was going. He was like, "Oh no!"
Was he very visibly upset?
He was visibly upset. We were all visibly upset by the game, but yeah, it's a fucking thing.
It's terrible, but it's so funny in the best way. It's like it's just everything about it is just you can't believe it exists, and it's not. Just to be clear, it is definitely not. It is a real game. It came out on the GBA in 2002. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page now. The cover for the game is almost as good as the game itself. Go watch it if you haven't, because it's great.
Do you know what?
You're gonna post that in the chat as well.
Oh, I will. I'll do it now.
Speaking of other games that are like that Hatoful Boyfriend, like I just mentioned a second ago.
I love Hatoful Boyfriend.
Did you ever play a game called Jurassic Heart?
Oh, you've told me about Jurassic
I
Heart.
don't even know what
It's really
it is.
cool.
Jurassic Heart is a game where you play as this adolescent Japanese high school girl who's trying to go on a date with her very anxious boyfriend who is also a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Charlie does not sound impressed.
No. So far, carry on.
That's the plot. That's the game.
That is pretty much the game, and it's just really funny when she's like deciding what jewelry to wear and stuff, and it's just like the earrings with bones in it and stuff like that.
Did you friend Charlie?
No, I've got it downloaded. I just haven't got around to playing it.
Oh, it's so
Dude,
good. You need to play that.
Play it.
I know what it is. I'm aware of Hatoful Boyfriend.
Yeah, but you don't know the twist though.
As far as meme games go, that one I feel like is the most fleshed. He's the most fleshed out.
You don't know the twist.
On a scale, I mean, did I review play Frog Fractions, the original?
No.
Okay.
Play what?
Frog Fractions.
Frog Fractions.
No.
Are you aware of what Frog Fractions is?
I'm aware of what.
Not even remotely.
Fractions.
Louis, at some point in your life, just type in Frog Fractions on Google and just play Frog Fractions. And I promise you.
Why? Is it just like a free browser game?
Yeah. Again, not now, but trust me, you're going to want to do it.
But what's Frog Fractions 2?
I mean, what is it? That's a good question. What game? When I figured out Frog Fractions, it was what a moment. What a moment.
Oh god. It's a visual novel. It's Hatoful Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Where you date pigeons, or birds, I guess. But
they are all pigeons. They are all kind of pigeons, though.
They are all kind of pigeons. But it's incredible. Like there are twists in that game that are absolutely just like mind-blowingly good. Where you're like playing the game and you're like, oh my god, why am I dating pigeons? And then suddenly something happens. You're like, oh my god,
okay.
I'm now invested in the game. There are also two games essentially as well.
I think it was
like you play through the game, and then there is another game after that in the game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm tempted. I might play it and come back next week with thoughts.
Go for it.
I know. There's a John Cena dating sim.
Okay,
now
we're in my territory. Let's discuss this. I didn't know this exists.
I forgot what it's called. I can't believe this.
There's 3. I think there's 3 of them.
Oh, why?
What do you mean? Oh my god!
I know that there is a John Cena.
It's like a high school like dating virtual novel, but you date John Cena.
I mean, it's called John Cena's Sexy High School Adventure with 3 exclamation marks.
There we go.
John Cena's Sexy High School Adventure.
Oh my god!
I believe there are 3 of them.
The cover has clip art. I'm very happy. On the Itch.io page for it, there's one comment, and it's just, I heard there was also a sequel ? And no replies, nothing. That's it.
Well, 2 sequels. There we go. That's this is the comment now that's answering that question. Yeah. There are 2 sequels.
Adam, post it in reply. Just post them a link to this, and then just don't say when in the show. Just post a link to see what happens.
There is an answer to your question.
Oh my god! There was a John Cena jam.
John Cena jam.
Is it jam that you like put on toast?
No, like a game jam, like where you make a game. Yeah.
Why did I think the first one?
Because the first one would be delicious and cannibals.
Why did I think the first one?
I'd be very into that.
A jam made of John Cena.
Oh my god, the John Cena's jam's called Jam Cena. Of course it is. Why did I not think of this?
There's a game jam.
It's like the most obvious name.
It's just Jam Cena. It's literally just Jam Cena.
Does it have a lot of the same sound bites? Like, and his name was John Cena.
I suspect so.
Yeah, of course it fucking does.
That's like the only thing. That's the like.
He's the blandest. He's like the blandest wrestler on the planet. Why is everyone so fixated with him?
Because he's John Cena.
He's a really nice guy.
He's John Cena, bro.
Also, what do you mean he's bland? You can't see him.
He's going to be in Suicide Squad 2, so. Yeah, I don't know what character he's playing, but I'm very excited about it.
No. Suicide Squad 2's got a really good cast.
Suicide Squad 2 has a very sort of vague chance of actually being good right now. I didn't think I was going to say it, but we're in a situation where
I think it will be good.
Other when wrestlers star in a film, it can just make or break their careers.
Yeah, you have great ones, and then you have horrendous ones.
Who is the wrestler that was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Batista,
that's the one. Batista, because didn't he get mocked for that role?
I don't know.
Probably. I mean, the thing is
why would he though?
He has launched his career. He's almost a huge deal now because of it.
Yeah, he's an actual actor and stuff.
Yeah,
now. He's been in films.
I love Batista. Batista's another guy I just love.
Yeah, he's really cool as well. He's just a nice guy.
John Cena's been in a lot of films. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where because
The Rock, he's been in a lot of films.
Well, yeah, but The Rock is The Rock, innit? The Rock's the most. Wasn't The Rock the highest grossing actor of the last 2 years or something stupid like that?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, maybe even the decade.
That man's money.
He's just a wrestler.
Well, that's because he sort of is a meme. You look at The Rock, and The Rock is just sort of.
He's just in loads of stuff now. He was in Jumanji and shit. You know, he's
There was a film that he was in where he was a CIA agent who used to be this fat, dorky high school kid.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But I saw Birds of Prey 2 days ago. Was it 2 days? No, it was last night. Last night. And now I'm looking at Suicide Squad and I'm thinking, the Suicide Squad sequel might be good, because Birds of Prey is really good.
It's directed by James Gunn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad was so awful. It was so bad.
Well, it wasn't good.
It
wasn't good. But Suicide Squad 2's got a new director, a new cast. It's basically not anything like the original film.
Did you say James Gunn was doing it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, James Gunn's doing the new one.
This is what I think, because James Gunn has done some fantastic films, but he's also done some utter shit.
What would you say is shit?
I don't...
Guardians of the Galaxy.
He did do Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, talking about video games, he did, what do you call it?
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
James Gunn was involved in that game.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I mean, I lost my mind when I was watching. I watched the live action Scooby Doo's a couple months ago, and he did those. And I didn't even know until the credits rolled, and I saw the word James Gunn. And I was like, "Hang on, what?"
It's a bit not quite what he normally does, but yeah.
Suicide Squad was one of my worst cinematic experiences, along with.
Did you come see Batman vs Superman with us?
No, I saw Batman vs Superman with my dad, and I left that film. I looked at my dad and went, "That was a fucking lot. What a lot of shit that was."
God. That's probably the worst film I've ever seen. Batman vs Superman.
Possibly, I don't know. I think the new Star Wars film is in similar territory, and it was written. I don't
think it's with the new Star Wars.
It was written by the same person that wrote Batman vs Superman.
I don't think the new Star Wars film is that objectively bad, but I don't think it's not good by any. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling it good because it very much wasn't, but it's not a complete and utter catastrophe. There's still some bits in it where I'm like, okay, there's something there. Whereas there's been
Batloop is literally it's the worst film.
I feel like all Batman vs Superman was just randomly poorly placed artistic set pieces. That's just all that film was.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have them fight over here now. Okay, that's good.
Oh, we're gonna build up this. We're gonna build up this whole plot of how Batman really hates what Superman is and what Superman has become. But it's okay. They're all friends again, because their mums have the same name.
We're gonna have this one scene where Jesse Eisenberg pisses in a bottle and calls it tea. Gives it to someone. That's a good scene.
It was that. I forgot. The whole DCEU in a lot of ways has been completely and utterly just.
There's a scene where Amy Adams drowns, but she doesn't drown because of reasons. Okay.
Is Amy Adams the one who was in Now You Can See Me or Now You See Me? Was that someone else?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember her name.
I don't know. She's in Enchanted and stuff.
I don't know.
Enchanted.
She was Nathan Drake.
She might be
Sully.
She was Sully in Monsters Inc.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, Birds of Prey is really good, and it's given me minor hope that like Suicide Squad 2 will actually be good.
I have heard Birds of Prey is good. Did you see Shazam? Shazam was pretty good as well.
I know I didn't.
Yeah, Shazam's like a genuinely pretty fun film, man. We went and watched it at cinema. I don't know if Louis came with us.
No,
but
I did not. I did not come with you to see that one. I've not been with you guys to see a film in a while.
No, we haven't done much in a while. To be fair, we've just not seen many films for recently. We used to watch all the Marvel ones, and we watched. I think Endgame will have been the last. No, Spider-Man: Far From Home was the last one that we watched as a group. I think
I've not seen Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, fair enough.
No, the last one I think I've seen with you is probably Infinity War.
Did you not see Endgame with us?
No, I did not see Endgame with you.
Oh shit! Fair enough then.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it now. I don't think. No shit. I think I might have done. I might have watched that. I might have been to the cinema to see that twice.
I think some people.
You went from not seeing it to seeing it twice.
Yeah.
No, I've seen the. No, I've definitely seen the film. But I'm just trying to decide whether I had actually been with these guys to see the film, or if I just went and saw it with my dad or whatever. Now I remember I went to go see it twice.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember we went to see Endgame and stuff like that, and Infinity War. We went to see Spider-Man because I don't know when it came out. I think it was Paddy's Paddy's fiance. Any of the Spider-Man films, so we had a big Spider-Man marathon. We watched 3 Spider-Man films in one day.
Yeah, Paddy.
I mean, we watched the original. We watched Homecoming on DVD. Then we went and watched Far From Home, and then we came back and watched Into the Spider-Verse, which is fucking insane.
I really need to see that.
Such a good film, man.
I saw whatever the Spider-Man. What was the Spider-Man called? Homecoming. I saw Homecoming. Homecoming was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't in love with it or anything. But I did really enjoy it. But I didn't.
I liked it, but
I mean, the best Marvel film is Ragnarok, so let's not even have that conversation. So
I also agree.
It just is Thor Ragnarok. Nothing else compares to Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, Thor with short hair. Oh,
it's just great.
Oh,
what's wrong with Thor with short hair, man? It looks good. It looks good on him.
I think it looks better on him. That whole film's just that film just.
And then we do a 180 again in Endgame. We have fat Thor
with long hair.
The thing I like about Ragnarok is Birds of Prey actually does something quite similar. In it's sort of very obviously right at the beginning, essentially says that the last film doesn't matter anymore. Like the beginning of Ragnarok, where they have the play thing, is very clearly them going, just forget about those other 4 films that we made. Just don't worry about them. They're not
a bit silly, wasn't it?
And like Birds of Prey does something similar, not as obvious and in your face as Ragnarok, but it does something quite similar where it's like just Suicide Squad. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about the Joker. He doesn't.
It's past. We're past that now. and it's all the better for it. And it has that sort of like Thor Ragnarok is just infinitely fun. Nothing ever happened. Like Thor Ragnarok just keeps finding ways to be brilliant. And I'm not going to put. I don't think Birds of Prey is as good as Thor Ragnarok, but it does do a lot of stuff where you're just like, that's great, that's great, that's fun, that's fun. And it's almost like taking yourself really seriously is a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who knows?
Some films are fine that take themselves seriously. It's not all films that take themselves seriously are bad.
I don't know. I'm coming close to it. No, I agree. Obviously, you can have some serious ones. For example, Con Air. But
Con Air.
Con Air is Con Air is an excellent film, and no one can convince me otherwise.
Con Air.
Yeah. Have you ever watched it?
No.
Oh, what, Louis? What are you doing?
What do you mean? What I'm doing?
What's Con Air? Let me sell you on. Do you know what Con Air is?
It's Nicolas Cage, man. It's Nicolas Cage.
Do you know anything about Con Air?
No.
Okay, let me just read you out the cast list, right, for Con Air. Nicolas Cage, John Malkovich, John Cusack, Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames, flipping Danny Trejo. Like this, what are you talking about? You haven't seen Con Air? Go just watch Con Air.
All right, okay. Just don't attack me in the street.
Listen, and if you don't watch it, you're not getting attacked. But look, they transport all of the most dangerous criminals from one prison to another in a giant plane. That's the story of Con Air. As you can imagine, it doesn't go well. It's great. It's so good. I love Con Air. I unironically adore Con Air with a passion. And I will talk about it for the next half an hour. Welcome to my Con Air TED Talk.
I would like to get to bed at some point.
No.
And you can catch that on the next podcast with Charlie.
No. I'm doing a spin-off.
Yeah, I think it is about time for us to finish the show.
Okay, I just want to.
We have been going on an extra long.
I just want to be clear that I'm going to launch a side one. I'm launching the Patreon now for my Con Air cast. Thank you very much.
Sometimes Con Air.
If you want to donate to it, I will. $1 will get you into my Discord. $5 will get you a bonus episode of Con Air Cast where I discuss the intricacies of Nicolas Cage's hair in Con Air. And then $10 I will come to your house and watch Con Air with you. Thank you, anyone.
Being your co-casters, can we get in this Discord for free?
If you watch Con Air.
If you watch Con Air,
if you wish to discuss Con Air, then you can come into the Discord for free. Until such time as you have seen Con Air. No.
And on that note, we're going to say thank you very much for listening to Sometimes Video Games. We've done a lot of talking today, so I feel like it's been an extra long one just to get us to catch up. We've not spoken for a while, like as a three.
Yeah.
So I guess it's been nice.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening, and hopefully you've enjoyed this bumper 2-hour podcast. And we'll come back next week, which will probably be a bit shorter. Maybe. I can't promise anything, but so thank you very much, and bye.
Watch Con Air.
Yes, I will watch Con Air. Goodbye, I guess.
Goodbye, I guess.